Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Becoming a Powerhouse Brand. Today's guest is a personal stylist who has a different approach. If you've heard one of my previous episodes before, we've already covered kind of personal styling and how it's important, but this is a very different approach in that we're talking about the holistic style and how you can actually step into your next level self with confidence. So, welcome to the podcast. We have the lovely Christina Avraam today.
Oh, thank you for having me on, Jackie. It's wonderful to meet you.
Oh, thank you so much for coming on. Could you tell us a bit about what you do and how you got started?
Sure. I'm a holistic style coach. That's what I like to call myself. And it's a bit different to a personal stylist or a stylist. I basically get into the nuts and bolts of who you are, your core, how you want to represent yourself in the world, how you want to come across. What are your goals? What are your visions? And I work with you from the inside out. So it's not just about getting a few outfits together and saying this suits your body shape. It's a bit more in depth. And the reason why I call myself holistic is because it's an all-rounded package that I offer a bespoke package. Yeah. And so hopefully when I finish with my client, I want them to feel empowered. I want them to feel confident. I want them kind of to wake up in the morning and know exactly what they're going to wear, put that outfit on and step out into the world with confidence to smash those goals, whatever they are.
Yes, I love this so much. Like, I am all about building brands from the inside out. I think it's so important that we're not just focusing on the external, on how we present ourselves, what we wear, like how our branding looks. It's about really identifying who you are, isn't it? It's such an important part of building your personal brand.
It's massive. I think it's the most important. You've got to create your brand with who you are at your core. You've got to know yourself first and foremost.
Yeah.
And those unique qualities that we all have, each and every one of us has unique qualities, whatever they are. That should be represented in your brand. You should be shouting about it from the top of your voice. And that's what's going to help you stand out in your brand, that unique quality you have being different. And at the end of the day, Jackie, who wants to be like everyone else anyway? It's boring.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. So I have been sharing my own personal journey of discovering sort of who I am, what I want to be known for, like finding my own confidence. So for me, especially, it has been that transformation of who you are before children and then sort of
Yeah.
identifying, stepping into who this new version of yourself is. And even beyond that, because I think as somebody like for me personally, I know in my clients, they really want to scale. They don't want to settle for small. They are here for the big game. They're here for those big goals, the big visions, and they want to make them a reality. And
Fantastic.
confidence is obviously a huge part of that, isn't it? To actually have that confidence to go out there. So, as an example, I went to an event at the weekend and
Yeah.
I was the person in the white hat and the sequin bomber jacket.
Hats.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to go for it. But I've had people message me saying, "Oh my God, I loved your look. I rem they remember you." And it's not just about being remembered and being like the peacock in the room kind of thing. It's about wearing things that make you feel so confident and are actually bringing out who you really are rather than kind of hiding and blending in with everybody else.
I love the way you said that. That's so true, and that really does resonate with me because that's what I'm all about. So it's about keeping us visible, yes, being seen, being heard, and being remembered. So when we leave that room, we've made the impacts that we want to make. I also went to well, I've been to quite a few networking events, but one of them, I kind of started posting my outfit from a couple of days before on my reels, what I was going to wear. And then when I entered that room, everybody already knew who I was. Oh, right, you're the one that posted, that beautiful dress. I was getting compliments on that dress throughout the whole day.
Yeah.
And when I left, that lasting impression I made was I had a few contacts from that wanted to talk with me, collaborate with me. They couldn't. They said to me they remembered my outfit easier than they remembered my name. And that's kind of what you want. You want to be remembered for something.
Yes.
Oh, you were the lady in the white glasses. You were the lady with the hat. Something that
Yeah.
makes you stand out.
Yeah, you are your business card, aren't you? Like networking events where you just dish out business cards are long gone now. Like you are your business card. So if you can be remembered, not necessarily by your name, but what you looked like, your vibe, your energy, maybe what you did, then
Yeah.
people are far more likely to reach out to you rather than miss an opportunity because people are, oh, I had a really good conversation with that person, but can't remember what they looked like, can't remember what they were wearing or what they did or their name, and you've then lost that person.
That's it. I mean, who wants to blend in the background? And also, I just remember I was in Cyprus once, and outside a house there was a plaque, and it said, "An original is always worth more than a copy," and that really resonated with me because my journey is kind of is a long one, and it's got a lot of bits and bobs to it, and perhaps we'll talk about it on another podcast. But my journey was all about, you know, my parents were Greek Cypriot immigrants and they came to this country with nothing. And so they wanted to put us in the best schools, but didn't have the money. They didn't have the money for uniform. So I was sent to school in kind of a red corduroy dress. Can you believe it? Until they could find the money to afford the uniform. But I was ridiculed for that from my teachers also and from my peers. But, that helped me. That gave me resilience. That
Yeah,
gave me resilience from a young age. And so, okay, I was with this red corduroy dress, but I was standing out. And I learned, to be unique from a very young age. Whilst my friends were getting their haircuts in salons, I was stuffed in a dimly lit garage, and my dad was cutting my hair for me, because kind of keeping us warm and putting food on the table was more important, than the trendiest haircut. So all this instilled in me that confidence to stand out, to not be stuck in a square shape kind of thing, not be like everyone else. And
yeah,
that helped me with the business that I'm creating now. So I did do studying, I did go into the family businesses, but when COVID came along, things changed. I was at a Glamour magazine event, and a friend said to me, "Do you know what you should be?" I was like, "What?" She said, "You should be a stylist. Look at you. You're so good with putting outfits on together. You're always telling other people how they should put a belt to cinch in that way. You're always saying this and that." So I thought, yeah, that maybe. And so I studied with the Star Coaching Institute, and I got my certificate. Not that you need it to be a style coach, but I just felt like I wanted it to have it
yeah,
under my belt. And that's where the journey began. And now I'm on wonderful podcasts like your own. I've written articles. I'm going to be doing a masterclass this October for a wonderful lady named Pascale. So it's kind of all happening, and all because I had that confidence from a younger age. I didn't understand it then, but I understand it now. You need resilience if you're building your own brand. It's hard. It's hard work. Finding your brand is hard work, and kind of evolving with it is hard. Sometimes we're going to get that imposter syndrome as well. Am I good enough? Why is that lady on Instagram got 50,000 followers and I've only got kind of 100? But
yeah,
how do you know that that lady hasn't employed someone to, like what they
yeah,
call bots, aren't they, to up the numbers? So what I always say is keep in your lane, keep your vision and your mission in your mind, and just work towards it. Okay. And that uniqueness that you have, make sure it's translated in your brand.
yeah.
And trust me, you're going to start standing out, and you're going to start getting those business calls that you want.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so here for this. It, it's that first impression, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is something that I've been talking a lot about recently, and whilst we're always told, like when you're in the sort of dating era and you're going through that, oh, it's not about first impressions, it's about getting to know. But who wants a business where you've got to spend time getting to know the other person and go through this
That's
whole
it.
nurturing sequence? Like, if you can create that instant, yes, this is my kind of person with that first impression, you've
Yeah.
saved yourself so much work.
You really have.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
it's
a
so
no-brainer.
important. And you have to, your clothes, what you wear, how you present yourself, has to speak before you even open your mouth. So it's like they're doing the work, your branding, your style, how you come across is doing the work for you before you even speak. That's really powerful. And that's what I talk about in my business, the power of transformative styling, because that's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
And once you have that confidence, even if you're going out for a cup of coffee, You never know who you're going to meet, who you're going to bump into, where that next business opportunity is going to come in. So don't go out in baggy sort of sweatshirts and stretchy pants. Put something on that you feel good in. Walk out of your house, have that coffee, sit there with a straight back and just enjoy it. And you never know what's going to happen, do you?
Yeah, it's so true. And the thing is, when you feel good in what you're wearing, like we all know, when we've done our hair, when we're wearing something that we feel good in, our energy, our vibration, it raises, like it feels good. And the thing is, when you feel good, you're coming across with a totally different energy, and you tend to attract people that will compliment you or want to know where you got something from, or like you have conversations with people that you would never have had if you're kind of just blending in. I'm not saying you don't need to obviously do that for like even the school run. Like it was a bit of a rush this morning. I was just wearing a
Yeah,
grey t-shirt. Like you don't need to
yeah,
be like this all the time. Just be you.
yeah,
But when
yeah.
you do have the time, like it just completely changes your mood, doesn't it?
It really does. And even if you don't have time, that shouldn't be an excuse not to look good because once you've figured out who you are and what you're about, you're going to be waking up, opening your wardrobe. You know exactly what you're wearing. And it's easy for you. Even the night before, you're going to think of that outfit that you want to wear and you're going to put it on and it's going to look good and you're going to feel good.
Yeah. Amazing. So what would you say to somebody? Let's say, because I know I was in this point at a point in my business where I was just feeling a bit, I kind of had really not discovered what my identity was. I'd kind of lost where I was going. Yes, I had a business that was working really well. Yes, I was getting in clients, but I just like my wardrobe was the same thing that it had been for years and years. I'd kind of added the odd piece here and there. How would you say to somebody that is in that stage, like what that next step is? How do you find your confidence and find your style when you've kind of been in this state of years of the same old thing, and you want that next thing, but you don't know how to start?
You need someone like me to sprinkle
Big
that
chat plug it.
magic onto you. Yeah. Yeah. So I would say, okay, look, not everyone's going to be the same with their style. I'm quite flamboyant. I like them. I like unique pieces. This thing that's hanging around my neck, not everyone's going to want to wear things like this or hats like this. It doesn't matter. Um, just slowly, slowly. So if you're a person that likes more neutral colors, there's nothing wrong with that. But be a bit bolder. Try adding pops of color, whether it's with your lipstick, with your hat, with a different colored handbag, shoes, a scarf. So slowly, slowly do stuff that you feel comfortable with. And then you can add more bold things to your wardrobe. If you're wearing a black outfit, put a fuchsia pink jacket on top. See how you feel. Color is life, like it's all
Yeah,
around us. Why wouldn't you want to wear color? I mean, it's
yeah,
just wonderful. And there's certain science behind the colors you wear as well, how it makes you feel, how it lifts your mood. So I would say every day, maybe step outside your comfort zone as well. There's nothing wrong with that. Add a bit of sequins, have fun with it, experiment with it. And then you're going to start thinking that, well, that suits me. That color doesn't suit me. I will say that finding your color palette is important. With stylists, we talk about your winter. Are you a winter palette? Are you a spring palette? Are you a summer palette? You might be a bit of both. I'm a winter palette. I've got quite white skin. I've got dark hair, dark features, my eyes. So these colors suit me. They might not suit everyone else. So kind of try and work with your color palette.
yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Slowly, small steps, and then get louder and prouder and bolder with
Yeah,
your style and find out what's your body shape. What suits you. Do you need clothes that wrap dresses that cinch you in at the waist? It's quite, I wouldn't say it's complicated, but there's definitely a journey towards finding your style, who
yeah.
you are.
I love that. And I love that you said about doing it slowly. It doesn't have to feel like this big overwhelming thing of you need to get rid of everything in your wardrobe, start from scratch and just get used to this new style. Like just
Yeah.
adding in those individual pieces. And I think thinking back, I didn't even realize I'd done it, but that's what I had been doing. And now when I go to events now, I'm always wearing a bright color because I feel good in it.
Yeah. And
Before I would have worn beige.
yeah, and you know what else? Our brand, who we are, has to evolve with us. So my reels, for example, when I first started out, won't be the same as the reels that I'm making now. My wardrobe is not the same. You have to take pieces out that really don't speak your language anymore and add the pieces in that do. So your wardrobe has to reflect who you are now. We all go through different experiences in life, don't we?
Yes.
So our wardrobe has to reflect that as well. The same way you're evolving as a person, your wardrobe has to evolve with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I'm all about that energy. And if you feel good in what you're wearing, you are going to find it so much easier to attract the right people to you. And the thing with personal styling, especially as an entrepreneur, your brand photography is quite often the very first impression anybody has of you. If it's
Yeah,
an image they've seen on social media or they've gone on your website, that
yeah,
very first image they see of you, they're forming a first impression.
yeah.
So you want to make it a good one.
Exactly. And you said that that's brilliant because you have to be consistent. So be consistent on all your social media platforms, your website, your Instagram, what you speak about. If there's, that unique quality that makes you shout about it all over your platforms, repeat yourself over and over again, so that when people meet you and you're being yourself, they'll be like, oh, she does come across exactly like she does in her Instagram
Yes.
or her website. She's speaking exactly the same way like she does in her reels. I've been told that before when I've met, clients. Oh my goodness, you're exactly the same as you are on your Instagram. And I was thinking, well, of course I am. Why would I be anything else? But
Yeah.
I do understand that when you are starting out your business, you might feel that push to copy someone else that you think is more successful than you. And we've talked about that imposter syndrome. But just steer away from that, and just be yourself and have it all across your platforms. As I said, consistency is key. And also, you know, share your journey. There's nothing wrong with showing people your vulnerable side as well. What are the setbacks that you faced in your business? For me, I've faced kind of women saying they're going to share their knowledge, they want to empower women and all the rest of it. And when it's come down to sharing that information, they haven't.
Yeah.
But that's okay. It's all part of your learning journey, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
And
sorry,
showing that
Jackie.
vulnerable side is really important. And actually, what you will usually find is that's the content that people engage in most because they're like, oh, finally, somebody gets me. Somebody's sort of sharing their truth and speaking directly to me because there will be people in your audience that are going through the same thing or can relate to it. So yeah, sharing your journey and why you've gone through any transformation or any pivot or any level up. Like I openly talk about how I kind of lost my identity after having children. And as much
Yeah,
as I love being a mum, but actually
yeah,
finding who I am has been a real journey for me, and I've had to do a lot of work on it. So sharing
yeah,
that is only going to help other people that are going through the same thing of like, oh my God, there is like a way of creating this new self. And yeah, it's really empowering.
yeah, yeah. It really is.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Christina. Everybody, if you have enjoyed this episode, please do drop Christine and myself a message. Let us know what key takeaways you've had from this. Do check the show notes below where you will get all the links. You'll be able to go and follow Christina and send her a DM. And yeah, let us know what you thought. Leave a review as well with any comments. And I hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you so much for coming on, Christina.
Thanks for having me, Jackie. It's great. Always an opportunity to talk about what I'm passionate about and keeping women visible. For me,
Yes.
this is the key. And be the star of your own show. Every
Yeah.
room you walk into should be your stage. So be the star of your own show.
Absolutely. We are the leading ladies of our lives.
Yeah,
We
definitely.
amazing. Thank you. Right, I'll see you
Thanks
in
for having
another
me.
episode of Becoming a Powerhouse Brand. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to this podcast episode. If you're ready to unlock the secrets of building your own personal brand, head over to my website, baileyandrue.com, where you can grab my free Brand Brilliance Blueprint today. It's your roadmap to success in the world of branding. And hey, let's stay connected beyond the podcast. Follow me on Instagram at baileyandrue for daily inspiration, behind the scenes insights, and exclusive content to fuel your brand journey. See you there.